Welcome everybody to Canadian Yoker here, and I am back with another video. So we're doing a town talk video, and apparently in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach fight. So in this article was written March 3rd. There is another article that's an update to this. So it says Gervonta Davis retains World Boxing WBA crown with a draw and rematch looms. So in this article, it's written from WBAboxing.com. So it says here in the article, in a heated battle that ended in a draw, undefeated WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis managed to hold on to his title by the slimmest margins against fellow American Lamont Roach this past Saturday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where over 19,000 fight fans packed in the arena. The bout delivered non-stop action from the opening bell with a pivotal ninth round that could have shifted the outcome in favor of the challenger. Roach absorbed Davis's trademark power shots without taking a step back, a rare feat against a man who demolished 28 of his 30 previous opponents. Davis, a multi-division world champ at super middleweight, WBA and IBF, and super lightweight, WBA, found himself in one of the toughest battles of his career. This was Davis' sixth title defense. Lamont Roach, who entered the ring with a 25-1-12 record and 10 knockouts, was seeking revenge for two amateur losses to Gervonta Davis and hoped to dethrone the Baltimore star. Gervonta Davis has held the WBA lightweight belt since December 28, 2019, when he knocked out Cuban veteran Yuriorkis Gamboa in 12 rounds. He successfully defended it against Leo Santa Cruz, October 31st, 2020, Isaac Cruz, December 5th, 2021, Rolando Romero, May 28, 2022, Hector Garcia, January 7, 2023, and Frank Martin, June 10, 2024. With the exception of Cruz, Gervonta Davis stopped every one of those challengers inside the distance. After relentless exchanges and a war of attrition, Gervonta Davis, known for his devastating left hand, particularly in the form of hooks, was desperately looking to put an end to Lamont Roach's resistance. But the challenger refused to back down, countering effectively and standing his ground. Then came the ninth round, a moment that could have altered the official scorecards. 2 minutes into the round, after a fierce exchange, Gervonta Davis suddenly took a step back, covered his eye with his glove, dropped to one knee, and retreated to a neutral corner. To many observers, this was a clear knockdown. However, referee Steve Willis did not rule it as such. Instead, he approached Davis, spoke to him briefly, and allowed the fight to continue. Had Willis issued the mandatory 8 count, Lamont Roach would have won the round 10-8. This swing could have changed the final scores on 2 of the 3 judges' cards, resulting in Lamont Roach's victory via major decision. The score was 115, 113, 115, 113, and 114. 114. Judge Glenn Feldman scored the fight at even 114-114, awarding Davis's rounds 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Steve Winfeld had it also 114-114, giving Davis rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Meanwhile, Eric Helinski leaned towards Davis, scoring it 115, 113 in his favor. From our perspective, Willis' decision was not unreasonable or unjustifiable. He ruled it in real time that Davis had not been struck by a punch before going down, and therefore no knockdown should be recorded. Judges, by regulation, must follow the referee's rulings. They do not have the authority to override his decisions on knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis' call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. and our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism. Only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury. The next step, a rematch. One thing is clear: the boxing world is already clamoring for Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach 2. The controversy, the drama, and the high stakes demand a sequel. Now it's up to the promoters to make it happen. So there we have it. Our first article here talks about Gervonta Davis retaining his WBA crown in this match against Lamont Roach. And so I'm going to go into the second article here. It says, this article was written March 5th, 2025. Gervonta Davis wants Lamont Roach rematch soon, hopes for the end of May. So going into the article here, it says, Gervonta Tank Davis isn't looking to take much time off as if he can help it by following his controversial draw with Lamont Roach. Gervonta Davis said on social media this week that the rematch can be soon, and specifically cited end of May as a possibility. Coming into the fight, Gervonta Davis, who is 30-0-1 and 28 knockouts, seemed like he was considering an early retirement at age 30, but now he has said he'll fight like 4 more times, and one of those will hopefully be a second go with Lamont Roach, who's 25-1 and 2 with 10 knockouts, and without the standard delay we've seen for Davis' career in recent years. Gervonta Davis did have a pretty quick turnaround for a pair of fights in 2023, so he's physically capable of performing well in that situation. He fought Hector Luis Garcia on December 28th, then turned around to fight Ryan Garcia on April 22nd, winning both fights by stoppage. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach was controversial, not just in the way that any draw is going to be debated and discussed, but because of a 9th round non-call by referee Steve Willis, who didn't rule Gervonta Davis voluntarily taking a knee as a knockdown. The New York State Athletic Commission is blaming a technical issue for not reviewing a replay video, which is allowed in the state. There have been calls for the fight to be reevaluated and even changing it to a win for Lamont Roach. If this is unlikely, it's not because Gervonta Davis is the star and money draw, but because had the knockdown been ruled, it's simply impossible to tell how the fight may have changed from that point forward, or even how the rest of that round might have gone. Fighters change their approaches all the time after being knocked down, and simply ruling after the fact that it should be a 10-8 Roach round, which judges are not required to score it, by the way, it seems like setting a dangerous precedent, with athletic commissioners usually pretty conservative about playing with fire in that manner. As unpopular as it may be, the draw call most likely will stand, and there is some logical reasoning for this too. Still, the rematch is in demand, far more than the original fight ever was, and the original fight did good business at the gate in Brooklyn. At the very least, Tank versus Roach 2 feels like it has to happen, or it's a question that will too clearly and obviously haunt Gervonta Davis' career going forward, far more than the conversations that he struck the sky or that, because we actually saw this one happen and know it should really get the run-back treatment. However, it may, be difficult for premier boxing champions to turn around and spend that sort of money on another event by the end of May. I do expect that we'll see the rematch and see it this year, but within 3 months' time does seem unlikely. So, there we have the 2 articles here talking about Gervonta Davis and rematch, getting a rematch with Lamont Roach, and by the end of May. Definitely we'll have to see if this is going to happen, Hopefully it does happen by the end of May. It's only 3 months away, less than 3 months away. So we're now in March. May is the 5th month. So obviously we'll have to see what's going to happen with that going forward. So it's going to be interesting within the next few months to see what's going to happen. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this story and let you know if this rematch is going to happen for you boxing fans out there and for the combat sports people. So don't be afraid to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see what's going to happen going forward in the next video, and I will talk to you later.